Recording. Okay. So welcome to our team call tonight. And I apologize if I'm so scatterbrained. But we want to start with the announcements before we get to listen to Rebecca tonight. A couple things to be aware of is what is coaching starts on Monday. So make sure that you are inviting, make sure that you are posting about coaching. There is a doc where there's like literally hundreds of different topics to talk about the coaching opportunity and what you do as coaches. So you're not just talking about like the financial side, but everything that coaching incorporates. And so it'll also be good. I was telling my girls, my coaches before we started, with coaches being in Punta Cana, like some of these coaches or people out there who aren't coaches are looking for that fun job, that fun life. And that's what Beachbody brings. And some are looking for a stay-at-home income. Some have a job that they may have good income, but they're bored. They hate going to work every day. And so they're looking for something. And so it'll be a great week to invite people into the coaching opportunity. And so they can really see what it is really all about and what our tribe stands for and what we represent. And so to say that as a whole, we're ranked in the top, literally like 0.5% of the company is phenomenal. And so use that and talk about that and explain to people, and invite them to the opportunity. So that'll be starting on Monday, and then don't forget the following Monday will be a what is coach or coach basics again. So we'll dive right into coach basics. Success Club. It was so cool to see the difference from last week to this week. The difference on the board. So many people are using this all access pass to their advantage, guys. When I tell people for $160, I mean, they get Shakeology literally half off with Beachbody On Demand purchase. It's been an incredible month for me and being able to talk to people about that because people are excited about that, especially people I've been talking to for a long time that weren't ready. It was just too expensive. And now they realize everything that they get is only $160 is just an incredible deal. In the 3 years I've been coaching, I've never seen a deal this amazing. And so make sure you're presenting that opportunity to people. I was telling my girls, one post can be the difference of hitting Success Club and not Success Club. It's literally one post. I had one girl, I posted about Shakeology and no artificial ingredients, and it was my former first grader's mom who added me on Facebook like 6 months ago just because I taught her little boy. And she's like, is this similar to Slim Fast? So we had a whole conversation about how it's so different and it's not loaded in sugar and crap, and that she's, only spending this much money, but she's giving her body this and sugars. And there's a reason why it has no carbs and one carb in it because it's full of crap. And that's how they get it, is they fill it full of sugars and artificial things. And that's how they get it down to the 0 and 1 gram of carb. And so, one post can literally make the difference of you being in Success Club. And so if you have a thought pop into your mind, post about it because there is a reason why that particular thought came into your mind. So realize that one extra invite that you send out can mean the difference of being in Success Club and not having any regrets and, being at Success Club 4 and thinking, I was one more person away. And so, realize that it's just being consistent. And you could literally be sitting here listening to me and sitting at SC0. We've all been there at the end of the month sitting at SC0, and you can do it. It's really just putting that, the effort in to invite. I was sitting at my computer last week for like hours because I wanted to get my husband in Success Club this month. And, literally, and I know not everyone has hours, but it was one of those things I was like, okay, He wants a backpack. Let's do this. Like, let's get him to Success Club. He wants a backpack for Summit. We could be twinsies. To me, that's motivating. You give me an incentive and dangle it in front of me. It can be a roll of toilet paper, and I'm going to go for this roll of toilet paper because that's my personality. And so, realize like it is just one more post. It's just one more invite. It's just staying consistent with what you're doing. So, the last announcement is UV2. Okay, I will be honest. I saw that come out and I thought, what are they doing? And I wasn't quite sure because it's not my program, okay? But Cut Your Heat, not my program. 21 Day Fix, not my program. And don't throw eggs at me because that's just the truth. They're not my favorite. But me doing Turbo Jam is someone else's, not their workout. And so about halfway through the advertisement, the commercial that they showed us, instantly, I was like, this is genius. This is that 40 to 50 to 60-year-old market who, let's be honest, you watched your mom work out to Richard Simmons. Don't even lie. It's true. That your mom had that Richard Simmons VHS and they loved it. My mom, like, she did Country Heat and she's like, I missed aerobics. I missed the old school aerobics. And this is totally her thing. And my mom is like beyond pumped for this workout to come out. So realize that there is a huge market for this. Not everyone can do extreme fitness and not everyone's at that level, but there are people out there who just need to move. There's diabetics out there that just need to move, that this program is spot on for them. Real quick too, but before I turn over, I was telling my coaches, and I'm going to tell you guys, because I know we have a ton of teachers, and I bet you guys have friends that are teachers. And this, I was talking to corporate today about this, and I never even thought about it myself, but PE has been cut from the elementary schools. Like, I was a PE teacher. My very first job was a PE elementary school teacher, and my position got cut. It is up to the first grade teacher to teach them PE. And what first grade teacher has time to prep for PE when they have the core basics that they have to teach? And any teacher knows that, they have brain works. They have 5-minute breaks as you transition, just to give that brain a little relaxation and before you start the next subject. And she was saying, especially as a teacher, or especially living, like I live in Utah, a state where there's tons of homeschools, there's tons of at-home preschools, all these things. This is perfect. The UV2 has a kids portion on it. So you could talk to these teachers and say you can use it in your classrooms. You can use it in your daycare. You can use it for 5-minute brain works. And guess what? You can go home and you can use your workout that you want to do. Your husband can work out with you doing a different program. And so for me personally, I'm going to be targeting that 40 to 60-year-old market and teachers for the UV2, because as a first grade teacher, I didn't have prep time anymore. My prep time used to be PE and music that they went to and art, and that has been taken away. And I know in the state of Idaho, it's up to the teachers to be able to do that. So teachers were like, "Okay, I'll teach PE. You take my classroom on this day, and you teach the music," and we kind of rotate to get that in. So to be able to throw in a DVD for 5 minutes and let them do their thing, and I'm throwing a DVD. Stream it on their computer up on like the whiteboard or smartboard or whatever they have in their classrooms. So I just thought I'd, present that opportunity to you as well. As I talk to corporate, I think there's a huge market out there for teachers being able to use this. And if they could get together even after school and do something, a lot of teachers are always looking for a way to get fit and, reduce the stress when they finish the work day. A lot of teachers would walk the gym at my school. They would just, walk in circles for an hour after school just to reduce that stress. And so to be able to go in the gym together and pop in something, would be amazing for a lot of teachers. So anyways, that's it with announcements. Unless I'm forgetting something, someone can pop off and put me in line, because let's be honest, I need it. And anyways, we're going to turn the time over to Rebecca. I'm super, super excited to be able to listen to her. She's amazing. She's one of our diamond coaches on our tribe. And if you don't follow Rebecca, like Rebecca is someone that I see post and I'm like, genius. Every time she posts, I'm always like, how does she come up with that? Like, if I wasn't a coach, she'd be someone I'd be following because she's interesting and she's engaging and she's real. And I love it. So I'm super excited to learn from her. And I'm just going to turn the time right over to you.
There we go. Okay. Thank you, Ashley. Sometimes I think my posts are a little wonky, but you know, I think we all think that, right? So today I'm going to talk to you guys about momentum, and I just want to tell you kind of where I got this idea from. So you have to hear my backstory. I've been a coach for just over a year and a half, and it didn't take me that long, like, to go Emerald. Like, it was super quick. I signed up my husband, I signed up my mom. I was really fortunate that each of them were like, okay, fine, you're doing this thing, that's fine. And then after that, like, I signed up, my first 2 challengers signed up as coaches, and I was like, yes, I'm on a roll, this is great. And I came into coaching as a coach, like into Beachbody as a coach. Like, I had heard of like P90X, but following Ashley, I knew her growing up, and I just trusted her. So I signed up not knowing anything, and it took me 8 months to hit Diamond, and I lost it like super fast, like a week later or something like that. And so that was like kind of a blow. And then I got it back and lost it. And I think I've gotten it back another time and lost it. I don't remember. Anyways, getting it back and losing Diamond was really hard for me, because I was like, well, whatever, I did it. And, you know, I had heard Ashley and Breezy and other leaders on the team say, you know, you hit Diamond, don't get stuck, don't get lost, because we see it all the time. We see this happen where people get to Diamond and they get stuck. And I was like, that's not me. I'm gonna keep going. And honestly, you guys, I feel like I lucked my way into Diamond, and you probably don't hear that very much, but I really do feel like I lucked my way into Diamond. You know, I was inviting people, but I wasn't doing as much as I should have. I was posting, but I wasn't as consistent as I should have been. I was doing the 4 vitals, but I wasn't as good as I should have been. And so I feel like I really lucked my way into Diamond. And so when I lost it, I was like, well, I don't know how to get it back. Like, all my lucky people that just showed up at my doorstep aren't showing up anymore. And so I didn't hit SC like for, oh my gosh, there was like a bunch of months where I was just like, I didn't hit SC. And what kind of made me flip the switch was I had hopped on one of Ashley's personally sponsored tribe calls, and she was asking us to just share a little bit about our stories, a little bit about what we do in the business or what we like about the business or whatever. And I ended up saying something like, you know, I'm a hobby coach, and, you know, I have to be okay with that. And as soon as I said that, as soon as those words came out of my mouth, I'm like, no, you're not. You're not okay with that. And sometimes I think that's what it takes, is speaking what you're thinking. Because sometimes, like, I was thinking, like, I'm okay with being a hobby coach. It's cool. But really, until I felt those words come out of my mouth, I was with it. But once they came out, I was like, no, I'm not. And it was around that same time that I had kind of the experience that brought on this whole momentum theme in my life. So I got stuck on the side of the road in dirt, and I just have a car. I don't have a truck, not, you know, all-wheel drive, not anything. And I was stuck in sand, and I had to call my husband and be like, I'm stuck on the side of the road. I just pulled over because my nephew wouldn't put his seatbelt on. And I was like all emotional, like, put your seatbelt on or I'm pulling this car over. And I didn't even pay attention to where I was going. I just pulled over and stopped, and I got stuck. And that's kind of where this whole momentum thing came into play. It was right around that same time that I said that on Ashley's call, and it just got me thinking that I don't want anybody else to get stuck. So I am going to try and screen share. Can I screen share? Let me see if I can screen share. Can you guys see that? Thumbs up, anybody? All right, thank you. Okay, so I found this quote: even if you fall on your face, you're still moving forward. So this doesn't have to do with driving, but the rest of it does. So when you're moving forward, it doesn't matter if you fall on your face. Like, I'm not a coordinated person, so this fits me perfectly. Like, I trip and fall all the time, but I always get back up and I keep moving. And that's what speaking my vision of myself did for me. It helped me get back up and get moving. So what happens when you first become a coach, right? You follow the leader. You have a coach. They tell you what to do. And you put your trust into them. You put your trust into this team. We are an amazing team where we share all the resources we have. Anything that's working for us, we share. Anything that didn't work for us, we share. Anything that we're struggling with, we share. We uplift one another. We put our trust into our coaches because they've been there, right? They know where they're going. And, you know, if this is new for you, you don't know what to expect. But what you can expect is your first big obstacle. So Saturday, my husband decided to take me four-wheeling, and we were following a friend of his who had been down this place where we were going, and his friend went down this path first, and this path was just covered with water. And if you can see this truck right here, that's my husband's truck, okay? And it's just a little Ranger, and we went through this water, and it wasn't so bad. And then there was this hump in the middle. And so we stopped at the hump, and we were watching his friend go through the water in front of us, and it was crazy. And I was scared that his truck was going to stop, or he was going to get stuck or something. And when we were sitting there, it was either we go backwards and completely flood our truck with water, or we go forward through this other thing of water. And that's kind of how it is when you first start coaching. It's like you're a little bit in, you know, you got your feet wet, you started going, maybe you got some success, you trudged through some hard things, maybe with your health and fitness goals, you've gone through some hard things, and you're on this little baby peak, you're on this little baby mountain, and you're like staring at this huge puddle of water that you got to drive through. And there's no way out of it except for forward. You just got to move forward. So you can't stay there forever. You just move. Trust your gut. You came into this business for a reason. Don't stop for anything. When you're following your coach, you know, you have to trust them. But the amazing part happens when you start blazing your own path. When I first started coaching, like seriously, I would go look at all the other coaches, and I would completely get lost in my own mind because I would have their post or their wording or their story stuck in my mind. And it was hard for me to find my own story. It was hard for me to blaze my own path in coaching because I was stuck on other people's stuff. And when you follow others too closely, you lose your own way. When we were driving, after we got out of that big old puddle of water, we kept driving, and we ended up going through some sand and mud and stuff. And if you know anything about going four-wheeling or driving, even in snow, for those of you who live up in the snow places, if you follow somebody else's path, sometimes it's not the best thing for you. Sometimes you have to drive in the areas that aren't driven in yet and blaze your own path and get traction better that way. And that's what I feel like helped pull me out of my frozen state. So when you're blazing your own path, be adventurous. Have fun finding your groove in this business. You don't have to do this business like everybody else does. You don't have to do a free community if you don't want to, if that's not your thing. You don't have to do a fit club if that's not your thing. You don't have to be on Instagram if that's not your thing. But try different things out and figure out what works for you. You don't know what's going to work for you until you try it. And it's fun doing all of these things, learning new things, learning a new platform, seeing if it works for you, seeing if you have a good following on it. So don't get stuck thinking, well, Breezy has a like page, so I have to have a like page, or Ashley has Instagram, so I have to have Instagram. Do what works for you. Have fun with this job. You guys, we get to play on Facebook all day long, so have fun with it. Like if you're on it, have fun with it. I think a lot of people would kill to play on Facebook for their job. So when you are finding your way and you're checking out different things, be cautious about things. Don't be fearful though. You don't know what to expect until you try it. So a couple of times when we were driving around Saturday, there were some paths, like it looked like people had driven on them quite a few times, but one of these paths, like in this picture, it was up on top of this plateau. And so there's no way to know what was on the other side of it. You have to go up it to see it. So what my husband did is he got out of the truck and he climbed up the hill on foot to see what was up there. And he didn't just climb up the hill on foot. He kept going. He was gone for like 5 minutes and I was all worried. But sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to get out, check things out, dip your feet into places, see what's going to work for you. But be cautious about it. If you're going to start a Facebook like page, don't pour like hundreds and hundreds of dollars on there if you don't feel good about it. And don't put all your coins in one bucket. Like make sure that you're trying different things out because you never know where you're going to get traction. For example, I post on Instagram stories, and my Facebook profile and my Facebook like page. Most of the time, I post the same things on each of those. The stories is a little different because pretty much I just get on there and talk about what I'm doing during the day. But on the actual platform where it's posting, I share the same thing. I posted one thing, the same exact thing, same exact wording, same exact picture on Instagram, same thing on Facebook, same times. I want to say this was Monday night. On Instagram, I got like, 20 likes, and that was with hashtags, and nobody commented on it. On Facebook, I got like 40 likes, and like 25 people commented on it or something crazy. Like it was a really big difference. So try different things out, see where you're going to get traction. It's going to be different for different people. And it depends on how you post. I think it depends on when you post, and experiment with those things too. So the next thing is getting to the top. So I think so many of us look at like, okay, and I totally know I'm guilty of this. We look at Breezy, or we look at Ashley, or we look at the top coaches, or we look at maybe you have a coach that you follow on social media that you really connect with, and we think, you know what, life will be great when I am there. It would be amazing to get there. Well, you're not ever going to get there, okay? This is not a destination. It's a journey. It's just like your health and fitness journey, you guys. You're never done. You're never just, okay, I'm healthy, the end, and you stop. You have to keep going. You have to keep moving. Just like when I got to Diamond and I kind of froze, like I didn't know what to do next. Don't let it stop you. You're never there. You're never done. You're never going to get to the top and stop. You don't see like the top coaches being like, okay, you know what? I've been in the top 10 like 3 years in a row. I think I'm done. You don't see them doing that because they understand this is not a destination, it's a journey. So this picture here, we were driving through this canyon, and the canyons were about, I looked on their website, said it like 1,900 feet tall. So we were driving through this canyon, like it was crazy amazing. I don't know, it said it was like the Grand Canyon is what it's called, the Grand Canyon of the California desert or something. I don't know. Anyways, it's this crazy canyon. We were driving through, there's caves all along it, and the mountains are super crazy high. We drove through it, we drove through the water and the sand, and then we were like, okay, well, we're done. And we were going to try and leave. Well, his friend that had been there before was like, I think we go this way. And so we started going this way, and it ended up taking us on this big giant loop, and we got lost a little bit. Where it took us was on top of this canyon, and I'm a little scared of heights, okay? And you see this truck right here? That's my husband's truck on top of this 1,900 foot canyon. Like the edge of the cliff is like right here, and then it drops like straight down. Like it's not even like curvy. So I thought we were done. I thought we were like going to leave. I thought it was a great view, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. And so I got in the truck, and my husband decided to drive to the edge of this cliff, and I was sitting there freaking out. And that's what we do sometimes, you guys. We sit there and freak out because I don't know what to do next. I don't know the next move to make. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what my goals are. I don't have any idea who would want to join me on this business. I don't know if I'm good enough. You have all those fears pop up in you when you hit milestones sometimes that you just freeze. You don't know what to do next. But you can't let those highs keep you from progressing. You have to keep moving. You can't just sit there forever. It's not going to work. So what we ended up doing is we had to turn around and go back down the back way and do the exact same thing that we had just done. We just had to backtrack. And sometimes you got to do that too. You have to backtrack and say, okay, what got me here? Okay, well, I was doing this right, and I was doing this right. I probably could have cut this out. But sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you get stuck in water. Sometimes you get stuck in mud. Sometimes you get stuck in sand. If you guys have been four-wheeling at all, you get stuck sometimes. So what can you do? You have to assess the situation. You have to figure out what is stopping you and how the heck you can get out of it. So the first thing that can stop you is a bunch of little things adding up over time, just slowing you down. Maybe you have like day-to-day things that just overwhelm you. Maybe it's the dishes, the laundry, taking care of the kids, taking kids to school, taking kids to church, taking kids to activities, taking kids to soccer or sports or church, or maybe you have a church responsibility. Maybe you have like all these little things that are like bogging you down. If you stop, it's just going to make it worse. You're not going to be able to keep going. It's going to be harder for you because you're going to have to dig out. You're going to have to like cut back on some major things. So the things that help me when I am feeling bogged down by those little tiny things that add up over time is creating a schedule and following it. I really like Google Calendar for creating a schedule. If you've never looked into it, or you want more information on it, I'm sure you could look at YouTube. I don't remember if I made a video on it or not, but I just like it because you can put in there how much time you want to spend on different things. You guys, I even have like go to sleep on there, and I have like how many hours of sleep I want to get. So create a schedule and try and stick to it. However, be flexible with it because life is life. But make sure you have a schedule of what you want to accomplish during the day. Write a to-do list. Just have a plan, because that helps a lot when you feel like you are being stuck. If it is your family that is like, they don't understand, maybe sit down and have a talk with your spouse and your kids and explain to them, hey, you know, I have this going on. It's really important to me. I love what I'm doing. I need you to support me by doing this, this, and this, or whatever it might be. Be specific about it. Like I said, follow a plan, have a list, but be flexible. And then this is the big one, you guys. Do the 4 vitals and then follow the 7-step funnel. The 7-step funnel has been crazy amazing for me in the last couple of weeks. Like, it's been so great. And then always do the 4 vitals. Like you always hear, like, do business building activities. Well, what the heck is that? The 4 vitals, you guys. If you have to cut everything out, you know, quit making pretty graphics, quit scrolling Facebook, because you know you do it sometimes. Sometimes I get stuck on it, or scrolling Instagram. Do business building activities. And if you have to have downtime, or else you go crazy, like I do, I will put Netflix on, and it'll just be playing. I'm not even really watching what's on the TV, but it is on to kind of make me feel like I have downtime. I don't know. And that's when I'll make graphics for my groups, or I'll schedule posts, or do little things that don't take a ton of mind work. Sometimes you get stuck in water, like tons of water. Like that first picture I showed you where my husband's truck was up to the hood in water. You get big things happen to you. Maybe you get pregnant. Maybe you get pregnant with twins. Maybe you have somebody really close to you have an illness. Maybe you have an accident. Maybe your husband loses his job. Maybe, like, all of these different things can happen that are big things, that those things, if you let them, they will stop you in your tracks. Don't let it stop you. I just finished a book, I want to say it was about a month ago, by a woman named J.J. Virgin. She created this book called The Virgin Diet, and I can't remember what the book is called. Let me look it up so I can tell you. Anyway, she has this crazy story where when she was just about to publish or release this book called The Virgin Diet, her son got in an accident, and he was in a coma for a long time. And if that happened to a lot of us, how would we react? Most of us would just probably like shut up into ourselves. We would try and be like in survival mode or whatever, and not try and worry about taking care of our own health. We would probably not worry about taking care of our other kids as much. If you're worried about that one who's in the hospital, you probably wouldn't worry about doing housework. You probably wouldn't worry about doing all kinds of things. But it's called Miracle Mindset by J.J. Virgin. So anyways, she talks about how she handled her son being in a coma, and how she handled his recovery, and is still helping him to handle his recovery. And one thing that she repeats over and over and over in the book, trying to get people to go to her website, but still it's stuck in my mind, is People think that I'm superwoman, but really I'm just super healthy. And she talks about in the book, she talks about how she did not skimp on her physical health because her son was in the hospital. She stayed at the hospital for months, you guys, and she exercised and ate right every single day. She got 8 hours of sleep every single day. When you guys feel bogged down, when you feel weighed down, when you are stuck by this big, huge thing, and you just want to give up on yourself, that is one thing that I caution you not to do, because that is going to just stop you even more. Keep yourself physically in shape to not only have that clear mind, but to be able to have that momentum to keep you going. That little thing of just keeping up your health and fitness is going to keep you going, especially on your coaching journey. If you're feeling stuck a little bit, don't stop doing it yourself. Keep going. There are so many instances, especially of women on our team who get pregnant and have amazing, amazing businesses during their pregnancy. And then there's some who get pregnant and they just say, you know what, I'm going to take a break. And sometimes you have to just keep going. Sometimes you have to let it pull you forward. Don't skimp on your own journey though, while you are while you're going through something big. It'll make you feel so much better to know that you're taking care of yourself. And then another thing that she talks about in the book is giving. Giving to people, helping people, sharing people, serving people. That helps you to feel, I don't know, lighter. It helps you get out of your own head, and just seeing other people's burdens kind of helps lift your own. So sometimes you're not just stuck in land, you're not just stuck in water, you're stuck in, a bunch of mud. And you just have to combine all of those things. You have to make a plan. You have to have a vision. You have to have that support. Lean into the team, lean into the business. You have to have that optimal health to make you unstoppable. Our support system, you guys, we have an amazing support system. Use what's available to you. We have resources available to you. Reach out for support. If you feel like you are getting stuck, reach out. Say, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Keep track of your business activity tracker, which I'm super bad at, but I write down everything on a piece of paper. But take responsibility for yourself. Nobody is going to pull you along in your health and fitness journey. Nobody is going to pull you along in this business. You have to keep moving yourself. And then lean into the team. One big mistake I feel like I made was like pulling back a little bit from team calls, pulling back from trainings, pulling back from the national wake up call, pulling back from Super Saturday. Like this Super Saturday was the first one that I actually went to, because I kept saying, I don't want to go alone. Who cares, you guys? There's going to be a million coaches there. Just go and meet a friend. And that's what I ended up doing. So lean in and just do your own thing. And then my last kind of point here is, if you feel like you're getting stuck, if you feel like the little things are stopping you, if you feel like you get stuck by fear or comparison, whatever it is that is stopping you from moving forward, upgrade your equipment, okay? Get a bigger truck, get bigger wheels, get bigger, I don't know, whatever truck parts there are, but upgrade your equipment. And how do you do that? By personal development. You have to constantly be feeding your mind good things, you guys. This has been a game changer for me. I was probably listening to a book a week since the beginning of the year until my phone died. And since my phone's died, I'm like so sad, because this phone only has like super baby tiny storage, and I can't listen to my books. but you need to listen to personal development, read personal development, find something that lights your fire, because guess what? When you are lit up personally, when you have that personal development down, your posts will be better. You will have that motivation to work out. You will have that desire to talk to people and help people and share with people what you're doing. It's when you upgrade your equipment that you're able to help people. And that's what this business is about. So make sure that you're doing that. Make sure that you're not just getting stopped by little things because you have a little car. Okay. You have the ability to upgrade. Do it. So that's all I had. If anybody has any questions or any thoughts, by golly, share them. Thank you, Brazy. You're welcome, guys. So I'm not sure who is going to close it out. I don't know if Ashley was going to. Brazy, there you are.
You did wonderful. Thank you so much. If you have no questions, then I will get the recording posted to the Chai page. I'll be honest, it'll probably be tomorrow because I am heading to bed, but I'll get it posted for you guys. So thank you so much. That was amazing.